Besavior Controller versus U5 Dongle. Which one's best for you? Let's find out. Hello and welcome back to Gears and Tech. You guys have seen us review the Besavior Controller on lots of videos in the past. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the product, the Besavior Controller is basically a standard PlayStation 5 controller with the addition of this backpack. Now this backpack adds back buttons to the controller that are remappable through this OLED screen, and it works exactly the same as your Scuf. It works the same as your Battle Beaver and pretty much any other controller that adds back paddles. There's a secret extra feature that includes this USB port on the top here, and that allows you to use this controller as a gateway that unlocks all of these other devices here. If you want to use a different controller like this Xbox Pro controller, PlayStation 4 controller, perhaps you want to use a mouse and keyboard adapter, this will unlock them all. It does it through a wired connection through this USB port, but it also does it through a Bluetooth connection because this backpack on the back also has Bluetooth functionality, so you can connect wirelessly to your Xbox controller and use that. So this would sit over here connected to your PlayStation 5 while you have this connected wirelessly to play your games. The cost for one of these though is quite high. It's around $160 US for this model. Now you can buy this as a standalone backpack add-on that you can do to any controller, such as what we've done here with this one. So this was a PlayStation 5 Blue controller. We got the backpack adapter and we built this controller ourselves. It does allow us to save a fair amount of money. This backpack can be purchased for about $70, and as long as you have the skills to do it yourself and you already have a controller, you can save a considerable amount of money. Now we opted for this option because we also included adjustable height thumbsticks so we could make our first-person shooter controller. We also added clicky triggers, so we disabled the adaptive triggers, added those short throw triggers to make this a powerhouse. This one is our actual daily driver. When you see us playing on Twitch, this is the controller that we're using when we're playing those games. Before we get too far into this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel down below. If you've seen some of our content already and have not subscribed, we want you to join our community. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and let's get back to the video. But recently, the Besavior team released this, which is the U5 Dongle. Now, the U5 Dongle is a lot smaller, it's a lot simpler, but it provides a basic core functionality that makes it cross over between the controller and just the dongle. So then you're gonna ask yourself, well, how do I know which one is right for me? On to the features of the U5 dongle. It is very, very basic. You plug it into your PlayStation 5. You do have to plug a PlayStation 5 controller into the U5 dongle to use the license key for it to work on your system. But once it's connected, it has this output USB port, which you can connect any of these products into. All of them except for one. You see, we do have this guy here, which is the Brook Wingman XB adapter. This allows you to use a PlayStation 5 controller on your Xbox. There was a theory that this might work with the U5. We're going to talk about that shortly. But first we need to talk about why you might even want to consider using that. And that is that this device is wired support only. Its primary function is to enable the mouse and keyboard adapters on your PlayStation 5. So for adapters such as this guy, which only supports PlayStation 4, it also supports PlayStation 3, Xbox, and so on, but it does not support the PlayStation 5. Unless you pair it with a device like this, the U5 adapter. As soon as you do that, this will actually work on all of your PlayStation 5 games, all of them, including Rainbow Six, including any game that does not support native mouse and keyboard. This combination will unlock the functionality for mouse and keyboard support. But this combination also unlocks mouse and keyboard support. So which one do you choose? Well, we're going to get into that shortly, but first we need to talk about the downside of the U5 dongle. And the biggest downside is that this device does not support Bluetooth connectivity. If you wanted to have a wireless connection from your controller to your PlayStation 5, this will not do it. And that's where the question came in. What if I were to just plug in a device like this, which is a wireless adapter for my PlayStation 5 controller to work on my Xbox? I've tried it in this configuration. It did not work. I've tried a couple of the 8-bit Do adapters with it to see if plugging these in like this would enable Bluetooth functionality. Again, it did not work. I have not found any Bluetooth adapters that allow me to use my Xbox controller or even my PlayStation 5 controller wirelessly with the Besavior U5 dongle. Now, when I talked directly to the Besavior team and asked them about this, they said the primary functionality of this device is to be used with mouse and keyboard adapters. That's what the primary function is. The fact that I can plug in my Xbox controller wired to this and have it work is a bonus, but it's not the primary function. So now that we know the pros and cons between both of these units, how do you decide which one is right for you? And the answer boils down mostly to the use case. Are you using a mouse and keyboard setup? If the answer is yes, the U5 dongle is a very no hassle solution to get mouse and keyboard working. You're going to be wired anyway. These adapters use a ton of wires to connect everything all up. So this one, adding extra wiring, is not going to be a big deal. It'll work. It's very simple. There's no messing around. If you wanted to use a third-party controller or a non-supported controller, the Besavior Controller is probably your better option if you want a wireless connection. Now, there is, again, one small drawback to that, and that can be seen the easiest when you compare these two controllers. There's one notable omission from our Xbox controller to our PlayStation 5 controller, and that's this touchpad right here. You see, this touchpad is absent on the Xbox controller. If you are playing a game that requires touchpad support, unfortunately, when you're using the Besavior controller, you actually have to use the touchpad on your PlayStation 5 controller that has the Besavior attached to it. So if that's way over on your PlayStation and you need to touch that touchpad, it's not gonna work. Now, the button underneath the touchpad is simulated up here on the Xbox. So we're strictly talking about the actual touch functionality of the controller. And without talking out both sides of my face, the U5 dongle actually has a unique solution to solve the touchpad problem. And that is, there are macros built into it that simulate a touchpad from the controller. So as long as your controller is wired into this, you hold down a button sequence and then use the analog stick to simulate swiping up on the touchpad, swiping down, swiping left, swiping right, whatever. This analog stick will simulate that, so you don't have to go back to the PlayStation 5 and touch that touchpad. So there's two trade-offs, and I guess we boil this down to one thing. Do you mind if you are wired? If you don't mind if you have a wired connection, you do not need a wireless connection. The U5 is cheaper, it's about $50 to get. Now, there are other products like the U5 on the market now. The team over at ResSnow have also created a dongle that works just like this. It's about the same price. You can get it on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description for that guy, and also the U5 dongle, and also the Besavior controller. So through this video, if you decide which one you want to use, you can go and grab those easily from the description down below. But wired connection, not a problem for you. U5 or ResSnow, that is what you're looking for. Has to be wireless. Definitely will not consider anything unless it's wireless. The Besavior controller with the backpack edition, it's the only way you're gonna get true wireless support for any aftermarket controllers, and the support is significantly higher. Now that we've totally confused everybody, tell me what you think in the comments down below. Have you got one of these products? Have you used them? What controllers are you using them with? And is there any that you want to see reviewed on this channel? We've got a lot of products here. I'm testing stuff all the time, and I'm always reporting that to you guys. More videos on this topic are available in the channel. You can check, I've had links popping up through this video, but we've also got tons in the playlist on this channel. Hey, thanks for watching all the way to the end of this video. We hope you enjoy the content in this video, and we'd love to have you come back. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And for those subscribers who are looking for that extra special thing that you can do to support this channel, consider joining our members group. That's where we're building this community, the Gears and Tech community, where we can all enjoy content together. You'll get special perks, which we'd love for you to check out by clicking the link down below. For those of you who are just happy to watch the video, that's okay too. You can check out some of our other content right over here, where we've got some previous videos that have already been uploaded and enjoyed by many of our viewers already. We do hope to see you again. This has been Gears and Tech. Have a great day.